Good morning, I am Renu Sharma, Assistant Professor EC Department. Today I am going to start with the subject that is wireless and mobile communication. Its code is KEC 076. So in this lecture we will see about the introduction of wireless communication. So the contents of this lecture are, that is, evolution of radio communication, mobile radio communication, then mobile radio systems, paging system, cordless system, cellular and different types of channel. So we will see basically that what is wireless, what is mobile radio communication, how the link has been set up between transmitter and the receiver, why wireless communication has been used. So these are some of the basic concepts that we are going to clear in this lecture. So I'll begin with the evolution of mobile radio communication. So before beginning with this, I'll start with what is mobile, what is radio and what is communication. So in a simple layman language, if we consider that what is communication, communication means exchange of information. Now that exchange of information may be in the form of text is there, means a text information will be transmitted, or an image will be transmitted, a video can be transmitted. So any kind of information you want to transmit, you want to exchange, it is not always that you want to transmit it. Some cases are there where you want to receive the information, like the mobile phone, you want to receive the call also. So this is a two-way application, so that is known as communication. In communication, we require basically a transmitter, a receiver, a channel is required. A channel means a medium through which the information will travel from the transmitter to receiver. So that channel may be a wired channel or a wireless channel. So any type of channel you will consider for communication. Second term is which is used over here, which means it is radio, which means it will going to use the radio frequency range. So whenever we are talking about the wireless channel, how different channels are classified? These channels are classified depending on the different frequency ranges. So these frequency range may be of RF frequency range, which means radio frequency range. It can be infrared frequency range. It can be microwave range. Satellite link can be used. So these are some of the different wireless options are available, or you can say wireless channels are available through which you can transmit your information. And mobile means mobile is not the handset that you are using, it means the transmitter and receiver are moving in nature. So that's why it is considered as, whenever communication is based on radio frequency range, means the transmission and reception is done in the radio frequency range, and transmitter and receiver both can move. There is a mobility between the transmitter and receiver. So that is known as a mobile radio communication. So this basically is showing that how this mobile radio communication has evolved over the year. Like major mobile radio systems are there, like in the year 1934, as you can see that police radio uses this conventional AM mobile communication system. What is AM? AM means amplitude modulation. It is a kind of modulation where the amplitude of the carrier signal is changed proportional to the amplitude of the message signal. So that is a kind of analog modulation. Why we require modulation? In communication, when a link has been set up between the transmitter and receiver, then it is not always that you want to transmit the information over a shorter distance. Most of the time, the information you want to transmit is transmitted over a longer distance. It will cover thousands of kilometers or maybe more than that. So for that purpose, you require modulation. Modulation is basically going to increase the frequency of the signal that has to be transmitted, so that it will travel over a longer distance. So that is known as modulation. And any kind of modulation will require two types of signal. First is the message signal, which is of lower frequency, which you want to modulate, and a high frequency signal is there, that is known as a carrier signal. The carrier signal frequencies are always higher than the frequency of the message signal. So, whenever you are going to superimpose the information of the message signal over the carrier signal, that will result in a kind of modulation. There is also in the year 1935 that Edwin Armstrong demonstrate FM. What is FM? FM is nothing, it is known as the frequency modulation, which means you have changed the frequency of the carrier signal proportional to the amplitude of the message signal. So, whatever information is contained in the message signal is always will be there in the amplitude of that particular signal of the message signal. Then in the year 1946, first public mobile telephone service, that is push to talk, has been used. Push to talk is basically a walkie talkie that has been evolved in 1946. Then in 1960 improved mobile telephone services are there, which is based on full duplex. What is duplex? We will see later in the slides that there are three different types of communication modes are there. Like first one is the simplex method, then there is a half duplex method, and there is also a full duplex method is there. So, in case of simplex method, the information will be transmitted in one direction only, that is known as the unidirectional case. In the half duplex method, the information will going to transmit in both the direction, but one at a time. And thirdly, in case of full duplex method, it will travel in both the direction and it can be done simultaneously also. So, in the year 1960, this Bell Lab introduced the concept of cellular mobile system. 1968, AT&T, that is American Telecommunication Union, proposed the concept of cellular mobile system to FCC, forward control channel. Then 1976, this Bell mobile phone services, poor services due to call blocking is there. There is a concept of call blocking is there. We will see later in this subject as we move. Then there will be in 1983 advanced mobile phone, that is AMPS, that will be based on the first generation mobile communication AMPS. It is based on AMPS only, that is advanced mobile phone system. Then FDMA and FM is used. What is FDMA? FDMA is frequency division multiple access, kind of a multiple access technique where more than one user can use a common channel for the purpose of transmission, and the division of the total bandwidth will be based on frequency only, and it is based on FM only, that is known as the frequency modulation. Then in the year 1991, this global system for mobile, that is GSM, it is a 2G technology. Then TDMA and GMSK has been used, that is the Gaussian minimum shift keying. Then in the 1991 again, US Digital Cellular, that is USTC, IS54, TDMA and DQPSK has been evolved, and in the 1993 this IS95 or CDMA that has been evolved, which is based on this QPSK and BPSK. So, this is the evolution of the mobile radio communication. Now, these are some of the examples of the mobile radio system, and we will see in the coming slides that what are the block diagrams or what is the technique that has been behind which is used for these types of systems. Like first example is the cordless phone. Before, means you can say after using this landline phone which has this channel which is wired in nature, it will going to change, it has changed to the cordless phone. In case of this cordless phone, the handset and the base receiver will is not directly connected through a wire, it is wireless connection. So, that is known as a cordless phone, that comes under this wireless communication. Next is the remote controller. You all are aware with the remote controller. Remote controller is nothing, it is a remote that you are using for AC, like this is also a remote controller. I am controlling these slides, so that is also wireless in nature. Next is walkie-talkie, that is based on the half duplex communication, the half duplex technique. Then pagers are there. What are pagers? Pagers are basically used before mobile phone. These are used in offices also, but not at with high frequency. The pagers are basically used to transmit a text message. You cannot transmit images, you cannot transmit any song or something. It is used to transmit only text messages, and these text messages are basically very short messages. It is used in emergency, like call a meeting at 3:30 p.m. So, that is a message. And What is the technique that has been used to transmit a page? Page is nothing, it is a message. Name of the message is there, that is known as a page. The device is known as paging system, and pager is the whole unit is known. Then next is the cellular telephone, that is your cell phone or mobile phone, and wireless LAN are there. So these are some of the examples of mobile radio system. Now mobile is any radio terminal that could be moving during the operation. So what I have said earlier, that what is mobile? Mobile is nothing, it is not a device. It means that the transmitter and receiver are basically moving in nature. They can move from one place to another. Whenever a call is established or when they are ideal, means no transmission is taking place. Then portable, handheld and used as at a walking speed. Subscriber, mobile or portable user is there. So these are some of the examples of mobile radio system. Now classification of the mobile radio transmission system is there. First one is the simplex method, where communication is there only in the one direction from the transmitter to the receiver. So this is the only case where transmission of information will take place only from the transmitter to receiver. It will not possible that receiver can transmit the information back to the transmitter. Every time the transmitter will initiate the transmission and it will be received by the receiver. Now next is the half duplex method, that is same as the radio channel for both the transmission and reception, and the best example of half duplex is walkie talkie, or you can also call it as push to talk. So what is the drawback of using this half duplex? Like in the case of walkie talkie, when both the person will say something at the same point of time, then the interference will take place and loss of information will be there. So that is the case for half duplex, that is not required. There will be loss of information will be there. Now next one will be the full duplex, that is the simultaneous radio transmission and reception will be there. Now that is based on this FDD and TDD. What is FDD? That is known as the frequency division duplexing, and TDD means it is nothing, it is the time division duplexing. So these are the two duplexing techniques which are available so that multiple users can use a common channel. Now this frequency division duplexing using two radio channels. First one is the forward channel, second one is the reverse channel. What is forward channel and what is reverse channel? So we know that the transmission of information in case of this mobile phone is based on GSM, that is the global system for mobile communication, and in every area there is a BTS is connected, that is known as the base transceiver station. Now these BTS, the channel which has been established from this BTS to this mobile phone, this is the mobile phone as you can see. Whenever the information is transmitted from this BTS to mobile phone, then that is known as the forward channel, and whenever the information is transmitted from this mobile phone to BTS, then that is known as the reverse channel in the back direction. So that is the forward and reverse channel. Then time division duplexing is there, that will shares a single radio channel in time. So that is the case for TDD. Now next we will see paging system, the very first example of the mobile radio system. So I have said that this paging system is used to transmit a text message, very brief message. You can see that the conventional paging system send the brief messages to the subscriber. Modern paging system is used to transmit news headlines, stock quotations, faxes, etc. So that is also a kind of text message and a very crisp message, a very short message is there. Then simultaneous broadcast paging messages from each base station, and that is simulcasting is there. So what does it mean? The subscriber, let's say I want to transmit or I want to arrange a meeting. I want to initiate a meeting at 3:30 p.m. Then I will call through a landline phone to this paging control system where a person is there. Then he or she will going to take the call, and I will say that call the meeting at 3:30 p.m. Then that person will going to arrange the message, and it can be transmitted through this landline link. That means through wired connection will be there, or a wireless option is also possible. So any one of the options are taken, and that particular message will be circulated among different users. So I am not going to frame the message. The person who is operating this paging control system will going to form the message, and that will going to transmit the message, and that message will be received by the users to which I have sent. So that is the concept behind this paging system. Now next is the cordless telephone system. What is cordless telephone system? These are basically full duplex communication systems, which means it can transmit a call and also it can receive a call. So that is the case for cordless telephone system. First generation cordless telephone system is basically used in home use. Communication to the dedicated base unit will be there, few tens of meters it can transmit. Second generation cordless phone can be used outdoor. It can combine with the paging system, and few hundred of meters per station it can accommodate. So basically with the increasing generation, with the change in generation, like from first generation to second generation, it can cover larger distance, it can used from indoor to outdoor, and it can communicate from the basic base unit, it can change to the combined with the paging system. So this is the system which is being used behind this cordless telephone system. This is PSTN, that is known as the public switch telephone network. To this public switch telephone network, a fixed port or the base station is connected. Base station is there at home only. At your home, this base station will be installed. This is a very small unit over which this cordless phone will be placed, and to this fixed port or base station, a continuous telephone line has to be connected over there, and a charger is also required for the operation of this base station. So that is the concept behind this cordless telephone system. Now next is the cordless telephone system. Is in this diagram, it is basically showing that how the call has been set up from this PSTN to the user that has been connected through this cordless receiver. Now you can see that whenever there is a arrow which is having this both the direction, which means it is supporting full duplex or it is supporting half duplex, because it can transmit and receive at the same point of time. So that is the case for this first one. Now secondly, whenever it is going to transmit in the only one direction, then it is a case for unidirectional. Now you can see that first one, a gateway which will connect to an external network and receives the incoming call. So this is from the PSTN to this base of the receiver. Then it will set up a call. A request has been set up so that a call will be received from this base of the receiver to this cordless receiver. Then it has to wait for the acknowledgement. Until and unless the acknowledgement has not been received, then it will wait for a specific point of time. Then it will, if that acknowledgement is not received on a specific time, then it will send a setup link again. Then alerting information will be transmitted from this point to at this fourth step, and connect has been set up. So there will be a setup of connection will be there, and after this setting of the connection, acknowledgement will again be sent at this point of time. Now this is the ringtone which you hear, and the user will going to accept the call. So these are some of the steps for the setup of call in a cordless telephone system. Now next is the cellular system. What is a cellular system? Whenever you want to transmit the information or you want to set up a call using your cell phone, using your mobile phone, then that call has to be set up using this cell. So these are basically cells. Any geographical area is divided into different cells, and these cells are basically, this is another cell, then this is another cell, this is another cell. So these are basically the cells. At the center of each cell there is a BTS is connected, that is known as the base transceiver station, and it is clearly visible from this diagram that more than one BTS are connected to this MSC. What is MSC? That is known as the mobile switching center. This means it is mobile switching center. Now, this single mobile switching center, which will going to access all of the BTS in a particular area, that will going to be connected through a PSTN, that is known as the public switched telephone network. Now, it will provide the connection to the PSTN for any user location within the radio range of the system, and also characteristics of this system are larger number of users it can allow. It can cover a larger geographical area because the area is divided into different cells. One thing that you have to consider while dividing a geographical area into cells is the shape of the cell, which is very important, which plays a very important role. Whenever you are considering the shape, then it has to be in the hexagonal shape. Why we are not considering any other shape? Because if I will consider a circle, then you can see that, let's say this is a geographical area, I want to divide into different circles instead of a hexagon, then you can see that this area is not covered in any of the circle. Okay, so which means that any subscriber which is residing over here, they are not getting any kind of connectivity. The information transmission is not possible in this case. Secondly, this area can also be divided into squares or rectangle, but if you are if you know some geometry related to this hexagon, then the area covered by this hexagon is large as compared to the rectangle and square. So, that is the case for cell structure or cell size. Then this is hexagonal shape you have to consider. Now, next is different types of interfaces or the channels which are available, like forward channel and reverse channel. I have said that whenever you want to transmit from base station to the mobile, then it will be forward channel. When it will be you want to transmit from the mobile to base station, then it will be a reverse channel. Then if you want to transmit the voice signals, which means speech signal you want to transmit, then that is known as a voice signal, and you want to transmit any kind of control information, then that is known as the control channel. So, basically there are 4 types of channels are there. Now, next this table is showing the comparison between the wireless communication system. So, these are different examples of wireless communication system like paging system, cordless and cellular system, and these are divided among different things that is dependent on this coverage range, required infrastructure, complexity, hardware cost, carrier frequency and functionality. So, this is the comparison of the wireless communication system. And this diagram is showing the interdisciplinary learning model of the wireless communication. You can see over here that this is showing the wireless digital communication, and it can be used at various applications like in probability theory, signal and system communication theory, digital signal processing. So, in these areas this wireless digital communication technique has been used. These are the fundamentals of communication. So, basically there are 5 different fundamentals of communication. First one is the transmitter, channel, receiver, the information you want to transmit, and the modulation you can say, or you can say the protocol, that is a set of rules that has to be agreed by both the transmitter and receiver for the purpose of proper communication. So, these are the fundamentals of communication. Now, next is the types of channel. I have told you earlier that in case of simplex, it is a kind of unidirectional when you want to transmit the information. Then half duplex is there whenever you want to transmit or receive, but not at the same point of time. There is a full duplex, you want to transmit and receive, but at the same point of time. So, that is the case for full duplex. Next is, this is basically showing what is the addition of whenever the noise is added to this transmitted signal. So, this is the received signal. You can see over here that noise has affected the signal quality. Now, next is the general model of the wireless communication link. So, this is somewhat like the digital communication, but there is a encryptor and decryptor is used. This is the new block, and these are basically used to for the security point of view that has been used, PN sequences has been added with the message signal, and that has been checked at the receiver side that whether the it has been secured or not. So it cannot get any access, the third party cannot get any access whenever, until and unless it has known the PN sequences that has been used to encrypt the data. So this is the description of the diagram that has been shown over here. Now next is the last topic is the bandwidth. Bandwidth is something that has been required for the purpose of communication. You have to allocate a set of frequencies, a range of frequencies you have to set up so that a proper communication between the transmitter and receiver will take place. If you are transmitting any information outside a bandwidth, then it will be, there will be loss of information will be there, and it will not be received at the receiver side. And these are the some of the units that has been used, that is known as the bit rate, that is the number of bits transmitted per second. This is the number of symbols transmitted per second, and that is related to the baud rate, and this is the relation between the symbol rate, bit rate, and the number of bits transmitted per second. So this lecture has basically described I have talked about the basics of the wireless communication and some of the terms related to this subject. So thank you.